Hello everyone. I'm Anjali, aka Coke Bottle Fit. I have the pleasure of interviewing this handsome, beautiful man right here. My fiance. MJ3000 is how you know him, but his name is Myron. But I call him MJ as well. So we're gonna start this interview off. I know him personally, and I want you to know a little bit more about him as well. So we're gonna start this interview by. I hope not. That's not the goal here. I just want them to know a little bit more about your background, about, because King Kong is super big for you.
Yes, it is.
Men, I know y'all know because I help pack these orders. Well, ladies, I hope you're benefited from it.
Yes.
So while we're speaking about King Kong, let's get into it. What made you start King Kong?
Man, great question, and thank you for all the wonderful compliments. King Kong was interesting because I actually had the product for probably about a few years, probably about 3 or 4 years, and I used to sell a product locally just to all of my friends and family and guys at the gym. So, and anyone who knows who King Kong is, an all-natural male enhancement. I don't know what camera I'm looking at.
And it works.
And it works, obviously. You're approaching 2,000 return customers. I'm really grateful for it.
Amazing.
So, like I said, I had the product for a while, but I didn't necessarily know what to do with it because it was like a little side hustle for me. And so, I was starting on social media. Things started to go relatively well for me. And I had a brand that had failed previously. And so with this brand, starting King Kong, I was like, man, this could be an opportunity for me to market this other brand that I already had. Because ironically enough, a friend of mine said, he's like, bro, why don't you just sell this like to the masses? And I was like, man, I don't know how to do all of that. So when the other brand had failed, it gave me an opportunity to say, maybe I need to reintroduce or start King Kong.
So what was the other brand? I know you're mentioning you had a failed brand, so you might not know this. Y'all know everybody knows King Kong. He had a previous brand.
Yes.
I know of this brand because
Yes.
when I met him, he had started this brand. So yes.
That first initial brand was called 111 Products, and it
what did you
failed.
sell?
It was just sports supplements, just your basic proteins, fat burners, testosterone boosters, BCAAs, just your normal, everyday, supplementation.
So what do you think? Like I know you said it failed. So why do you think it failed?
It failed because I had no idea of what I was doing when it came to promoting or who I was selling to. Probably the biggest mistake that I made, and probably a lot of people make, is when I first started, I was like, I want to sell to everyone, right? And having no idea that you really truly had to find your audience and your people and who you were directly marketing to. So that's one of the reasons why it failed, and mainly because my following, wasn't aligning with the products that I was selling. Okay. At the time, I had a huge female following, and these females wasn't buying no BCAAs.
It was out looking at the eye candy, and I do not blame you.
Yes, exactly. So the revenue and the sales, it didn't match up. So unfortunately, I had to rebrand. So when I rebranded to one brand called Alpha Dog that didn't do well either. But then King Kong. So that was why I started King Kong, because I realized my following had changed, where I had like over 90% men. So I was
able to market it better.
Right.
And you had your target audience.
Right. So I knew specifically who I was targeting. Now I just had to figure out, how to be creative and market to them specifically. And everyone, a lot of guys may not admit this, but a lot of guys take male enhancements, and especially a natural male enhancements that's going to make you perform better in the bedroom. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it.
And fellas, trust me, a woman's not going to complain about you taking a male enhancement. It benefits us as well.
No.
Not at all. Matter of fact, I prefer you to take it.
Without a doubt. So when I first rolled it out, it was kind of slow, but then following like the next couple of weeks, it was ding, ding. My Shopify store started going crazy. So I knew the product worked, but I didn't know how it was necessarily going to work for the masses.
Transfer, yeah.
Right. So when we started getting the return customers rolling in, then I had that moment. I was like, oh, okay, so they like it, they enjoy it. So then it was just kind of like off to the races. And, the guys love it, they enjoy it.
The women do too.
They do too. And it was cool. It was great. So that was pretty much why.
All right, let's see. I have some other questions. I'm going to go ahead and dig a little deep in here.
Okay.
Let's see what I have for you. Ooh, we're going to talk about, great. We talked about your success with King Kongs. Now, what are some, you've had failed businesses. What are some of your fears now? Because now you have success. You don't have a failed business, you're thriving. What are your fears now?
My biggest fear, I don't fear a whole lot, but my biggest fear is probably leaving my family before they're ready. And I know when it comes to family, no one is prepared for a loss. But my granddaughters, they're really, really young. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was to leave this earth today, God forbid, that they wouldn't know who I was. You know what I mean? So that is actually something that I'm very mindful of, and I'm very intentional and serious about my health, because I want to be present and available for them, because I want them to remember me and more in the legacy, because everything that I'm doing, even we just talked about the King Kong brand, is going to be for them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I want to be able to teach them and show them different things and how to maintain the business, and just life lessons that I feel like that I've learned that can be valuable for them. And, you know, obviously you and my daughter and my mom and everyone else, you know, I have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of people that depend on me. So I don't want to leave this place prematurely. God willing, obviously God has a plan. I follow his lead. My time is my time, but that is something that I think about often. Yeah, so.
That's fear as well. I never want to lose you. I love you.
Right.
So on a happier note, what are you passionate about? Where's your passion at right now?
Passion? Great question. I was recently asked this on another platform, and they led into it with, it has to be fitness. And I had to correct them, and it was like, it's not fitness, it's people. People are my passion at this point in my life and my career. The gratification I get out of that men either DM me or email me and tell me, man, you really helped me and motivated me and you changed my life, whether it was through my supplements and my business or just the content for the videos that help them, you know, work out and train. So those moments, they really, really, truly, you know, warm my heart and resonate with me, because I feel like I'm being useful and being of service to others. Because at this point, I've done a lot of things, and, you know, I find value in helping others. So my passion is not fitness, it's actually people. Is to continue to help others and be of use and of service to my community.
That's amazing. I applaud you. You know, I'm always going to be your biggest supporter and your biggest cheerleader, and I love that about you. That's the most attractive quality that I see in you. You know, just PG.
I got you.
But speaking of content, now, we all know, if you've watched MJ, you hear this music. Everyone hears, I mean, we've gone everywhere with the music. We have NWA, we have a little bit of everything. Like, I'm from California. He rep my city where
Yes.
LA. And you know, he'll bring some old school, you know, he's all over the place. Even, what was the last one you just did?
I think DMX.
DMX. So you're all over the place. And everybody always asks about your playlist. When we gonna drop the playlist, bro? Like, let the people get the ear. Like, you have the ear. Let them get a little listen.
For the playlist, I'm working on it. That's probably one of the most, that's the question I get asked a lot. Where's this playlist? And I'm working on trying to figure out where to put it, like either on Apple or Spotify, because right now I got a lot of different playlists, but the playlists are all over the place.
Okay, like mine.
So I literally
my playlists are bipolar. They a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit all over the place. Yeah.
So I want to be able to, you know, put it in one place and have it flow very, very well. And my love for music, and I've said this before, probably came from my mother, because my mother had me very, very young. So she was like a kid, raising a kid. So she was big in hip hop. One of my first tapes she ever gave me was Nas Illmatic. So and there were times where I'll be riding in a car with her, she'd be bumping Pac or Dog Pound or, you know, anything from the South, Outkast. So my love for music honestly came from her. And being able to having the ability to live in different regions of this country, like being on the East Coast, in the South, Midwest, Texas, Atlanta, New York, Philly, outside of the West Coast, even though I really felt like I was part of the West Coast. I love those guys.
That's why you gravitated towards me, I know.
Yeah. So it gave me this, ear.
You would have fit in. I ain't gonna lie. You would have definitely fit in on the West Coast. We would embrace you, baby. I can't wait to take you home.
I got you. So, I lost my thought. I'm sorry. Oh, yes. So being able to live in different regions in this nation has given my ear, something that I listen to what I like and what I hear and what I sound. So it's well-rounded, the things that I hear. And people seem to enjoy it. They obviously, I play a lot of old school stuff. I kind of rock with the new school stuff. But I just love music, period. Music is a huge part of my life. If you really saw the genre of music, you'd be surprised. I got rock, classic, orchestra, R&B, hip hop, obviously.
Asking him before, not to cut you off, but I remember asking him before, what did he like? You said classical music when you were working, and you was like, yeah. I said, are you serious? And then you said, what was it? Theme songs, like the theme music from like certain movies.
Yeah, movie scores.
There we go.
Movie scores are, if you really are looking for highs and lows and really being able to feel the music, movie scores are the best. Moonlight is probably my all-time favorite movie score, just the sounds. And it can take you to a place that you may, be uncomfortable to go with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it can be emotional listening to those movie scores, but I love it. One of my dreams is to one day go to either the Boston, I think it's like the Boston Orchestra, which is like really, really big. And I just want to kind of just go and just hear the music.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, well, getting back into your content.
Yeah.
And you're just creative. You got a good ear for music, but you also have a great sense of fashion. You are not a small guy.
No.
And you rock everything well, from the gym and transitioning out of the gym just on a day-to-day.
Thank you.
And you always get compliments. And let's go into this. What's up with your fashion, bro? Like,
that is so strange to me because I never considered myself a fashion guy. I just wear what I like and what fits my body. You know what I'm saying? I just, I adopt those rules, which was I was taught. Be clean, nice and neat and coordinated. I'm old school. So old school, you know how it is. We get the whole outfit. You know what I'm saying? We got to get matchy.
Shoes, shirt, pants, hat, everything,
right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I can't say I have a sense of fashion, but I did come up in the 90s where everyone's familiar with Deion Sanders. And, he has this Right, he has this iconic saying where I think it goes something like, you look good, you feel good, you play good, they pay well, or they pay good. So, you know what I'm saying? So I always kind of like, man, I just want to be nice and neat, because I always couldn't afford the nicest things, but it was always very clean, nice and neat. But when it comes to fashion, I mean, I like colors. I like sneakers. I just like things that look good, that fit my body, and I kind of just rock out with that. I know a lot of people think I put a lot of effort into it, but I really don't. I just want to be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I came up in the era, where, we were around the dope boys and the rappers, and, so my culture, has fine-tuned me when it comes to my fashion and the things that I put on.
Yeah, I feel like you transitioned well. Like, even in this day and age, you're still irrelevant. Like, everything you wear is still like, oh, that's still hot.
Yeah. I try not to be. We have those
42,
conversations.
like, come on.
We've had those conversations where we say, "Oh man, you're like, there's a whole tribe of men that are stuck in like the '90s or the early 2000s and haven't been able to transition out of it." And I think that's important when it comes to fashion as well. Be able to kind of keep up with the times. Now, I'm not rocking no skinny jeans, but you still can, kind of, throw a little flavor and taper them down to the end. You know what I'm saying? Things. But, I try to kind of, stay in my lane. At least, our kids say, we don't dress age appropriate, but I don't care about that. But also, too, I have the ability to really, put on, and you've helped me with that, get dressed up, put some hard bottoms on, a nice shirt, and be tailored and be nice. And I love that because, we had that, that hater that on the comments. Matter of fact, put this. Make sure you put this. No, it wasn't about red bottoms. We had that. We had that. Someone commented about a man that dresses, that's at my age, still wear sneakers, t-shirts, and hats, that I'm not adulting. Then I flipped it and I showed him, like, bro, I can put on some red bottoms, a nice tailored shirt, you know, some slacks, and I can be clean. And I also, too, believe within fashion, you have to be versatile to be able to kind of, you know, rock different things. And I'll leave you with this last tip. If you are struggling with your fashion or you don't know what to wear, always remember all black is the way to go.
All black. What are some nice accessories, whatever your color of choice?
Like, man, I don't know what to wear.
All black. Can't go
black.
wrong with all black. And that's
Trust
for
me.
ladies and men.
Thank you later.
So, this is going to be my last question, but it's important. I've seen this in comments before in some of your videos. Mm-hmm. Walking stereotype. How do you feel about that? The big black guy with the gold chains.
At first, it used to bother me a little bit. And like, I'll give you an example. I remember one time I was having a conversation with this young lady at the gym. She was asking me a question about a movement, and she was with her boyfriend, and they were both asking me honestly. And they was like, yo, that movement that you're doing, can you tell me what you're doing, what you're hitting it? So I told them, and it was to her surprise, she kind of took a step back. She was like, oh my God, you speak so well. Like, I didn't think you were going to sound like that. And I kind of chuckled and laughed, and I was like, oh, it's all good. And I kind of went on about my business. But then I realized, like, yeah, that's kind of insulting, right? And then once I got on social media and, you know, I started talking because people wanted me to start talking, it was kind of like the same thing. It's like, oh, wow, he can articulate himself. He can put sentences together. He's well-spoken. And like I said, I understand also I made myself this way. I'm a big black guy with a beard, tattoos everywhere, a bald head, you know, and very big muscles, so I know I can probably look very intimidating or menacing to people. So when I do speak, it's a little jarring to them, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's not like that. But I do get some gratification out of people being surprised, where it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, so it's like, you know, that's why you shouldn't judge a person. But I also understand that in any space, there's some level of prejudice. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where you are in the space that you're in, people are going to be prejudiced, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. So I'll you know, kind of accept it, and I think it's kind of like a superpower for me. You know.
I love it. Great answer.
Thank you.
Thank you again for allowing us to, you know, come and get little pieces out of your personal and private life. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Again, this is MJ3000. I am Anjali, AKA Coke Bottle Fit.
There it is. Thank you. I appreciate you. Did you give the people what they wanted? These are things they wanted to know.
And also in the comments, let me know what other questions you have for this man so we can get them on camera.
There it is. Appreciate y'all. Good job, baby.
Thank you.
You did good. He was nervous as hell because when she looked